What's up guys, Lifting here. In this video we're going to talk about Flame Totem and how it has changed in the beta and whether or not it is still good. So first of all, I should say that I've been using Flame Totem this last week, and the footage you see here in the background is me running around killing innocent mobs in the beta. And so here's what you need to know about Flame Totem version 2.00. The level requirement of the spell is now 4, which means it has potential as a leveling skill now. At higher levels, the totem roughly deals about 60% more damage and costs around 19% less mana compared to the version on the live realms. It is now significantly more tanky, and I'm actually not completely sure what it is that has made it so much more tanky. I'm not sure what the mechanic is, but it is significantly more tanky. Even bosses have trouble wrecking my totems. And like other spells, it can no longer shotgun. That's the big controversial thing here. And the way it works is that it shoots one projectile at level 1, and as it levels up, 2 additional projectiles gets added to the skill for a total of 3 projectiles. None of these can shotgun though. And then lastly, the default duration of the skill gem is 8 seconds, and that's down from 15 seconds. And so based on that, I want to share my opinion on how it has been leveling and using Flame Totem in the beta. Okay, so before we continue, then maybe I should tell you or show you what kind of Flame Totem build it is that I've been playing. Basically, it is. It started out as a blood magic Flame Totem build, and then I transitioned into mana later on so that I could run Herald of Thunder, Herald of Ice, and Anger, which adds a pretty large portion of damage to the build. In order to do that, I've linked my Flame Totem with blood magic, faster projectiles, faster casting, added chaos damage, and fire penetration. The alternative would be to remain in blood magic and then instead add in something like added lightning or something like that. You could even go crit, but that's a totally different build. And with this setup, I currently have 4,995 DPS, so close to 5,000 DPS, and this is on a level 17 Flame Totem. The last time I leveled up, I got roughly around 450 damage, so I'm pretty confident as we level this up, maybe even if we could get like a level 21 corrupted Flame Totem, it will deal a shit ton of damage. As for the gear, there's nothing really too special here. The only thing that adds a good amount of damage is the scepter here, and everything else I'm using right now is absolutely trash. Besides the 6-link, of course, but you could get a tabula and get the same amount of damage through that. As for the skill tree, there's not really too much to say. I'm of course picking up totem nodes such as Ironwood, Totemic Mastery, Shamanistic Fury, Ancestral Bond, obviously. I haven't picked up a Totemic Seal down here yet because it's bugged and it doesn't currently increase the summoning speed of totems. Besides that, I'm picking up Arsonist, Cast Speed, True Light of Divinity and Retribution, Elemental Damage, Celestial Judgment, Celestial Punishment, and so on. So basically we scale the damage through spell damage, elemental damage, cast speed, and totem nodes. And that, as I showed you, leaves us with around 5,000 DPS at level 71. And I'm absolutely certain that the damage can go much higher with better gear. As I said, the gear that we're using right now is absolutely terrible. And of course with more points invested into the skill tree. One of the cool things I really want to show you is, however, that we have socketed Rain of Splinters into the skill tree. And Rain of Splinters is absolutely amazing for Flame Totem. It makes it so that totems fire 2 additional projectiles. And as I said in the beginning, as the Flame Totem skill levels up, it gains additional projectiles. By default, it now has 2 additional projectiles besides the one that it's already shooting, so 3 projectiles. With Rain of Splinters, it gains a total amount of 5 additional projectiles. And that really makes a nice difference when it comes to clearing large packs of monsters. It's a really nice jewel we have here. And so as to compare it to the Flame Totem we have on the live servers right now, the Flame Totem I'm currently using in the beta has less single target damage, and that is again because the projectiles cannot shotgun. However, I feel that with the inclusion of Rain of Splinters and a high level Flame Totem, that it deals about the same, if not even more, in some cases at least, damage to mobs or large packs. Simply because we don't have the downscaling of the damage we would get through GMP or LMP. Oh, and I should probably also say that with the Flame Totems now being significantly more tanky, that indirectly adds to the damage of the totem itself. Before you had to constantly re-summon your totems as they were getting wrecked by the monsters. Now they are actually so tanky that in many cases the monsters won't be able to kill your totems. That indirectly buffs the damage of the totems by you not having the downtime of them going down and then having to resummon them. As for using this skill for leveling, I found it absolutely terrible. The damage was absolutely horrendous at level 4 when I started using it, and it did not get better for a very long time. Even when I linked it with faster casting, I believe at level 18, the faster casting has been changed so you can use it at earlier levels. And with fire penetration in a +1 to fire scepter, it was still really, really bad. However, that could of course have something to do with me leveling as a marauder and in the beginning not picking up anything related to spell damage or anything like that. I think the next time I would be interested in trying out leveling it as a Templar, so picking up elemental damage and spell damage in the beginning to maybe actually make it a viable skill for leveling. I still feel though that it deals too little damage. I don't think it's enough just picking up these things in the beginning. The damage is simply not enough in the beginning. But it's the beta, lots of things can happen, and I hope that in overall we'll still see an overall damage boost to Flame Totem. The skill is pretty awesome, but with the nerf to shotgun, I still feel like it could use a small damage boost at least. But we'll see about it. The highest level of maps I've been into so far has been 71, or maybe it was a 72, and I had absolutely no problems. You still feel the damage being a little low on the bosses, but I don't feel like it's a problem, and I would still say that Flame Totem, if you build it like this, like the way I've done right here, it's still a very viable choice for farming bosses and magic finding. But let's not turn this into a build video, guys. I just wanted to share my experiences running around with Flame Totem. I know some of you guys are curious about the state of Flame Totem since the shotgun nerf. And the take-home message here, guys, is simply, don't be afraid. It's still good. Just get yourself Reign of Splinters Jewel. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?